What is going on, guys? This is Daniel, and today is part 1 of a 3-part series where I break down the Princeton offense, and I will be breaking down the principles and rules of it, because there are principles and rules of the offense, even though it is a motion. So I'll be breaking down those rules as I go by in the videos, not all at the beginning. And these are the teams and years I watched for this breakdown, and these aren't the only teams that have run the Princeton offense in the last 15 years. These are simply the teams I could grab footage of. Also, only 3 head coaches have really run the Princeton offense in the NBA. Byron Scott, wherever he's been, Eddie Jordan for the Wizards and also for 1 year in Philadelphia, and Rick Adelman has run variations of the offense at places he's been. So with that all out of the way, let's get to the offense. The alignment is a 2-guard, 2-forward alignment with a center either at the high post or here, because it's the low post series, he's at the low post. And all the positions are interchangeable except the center position. And in the low post series, the center is on the block, strong side of the ball. So, the series starts with a guard forward pass, and then the guard will basket cut looking for the ball, and if he doesn't receive a pass, he clears out to the opposite corner, and the first look is always to the center posting up, but here, since the center is denied, the wing can attack and then feed the center. If the wing does get it to the center posting up, he has several options, one being a simple basket cut, a through cut through the lane to the opposite corner, and the center can post up. The passer can also execute a simple corner cut, and this triggers the players on top on the weak side to execute a bit of a down screen action, and the post has a variety of options. Here he eventually gets a post re-entry, though he can't score. Again, the wing will execute a corner cut once he passes it inside, and here the center decides to pass it out. This scrambles the defense, and they draw a foul. There are 3 options for the passer once he enters the post. He could basket cut, corner cut, or here he screens away at the foul line, and Peja Stojakovic could use the screen looking for a jumper, or he can backdoor, and once he backdoors, as he does here, the screener, Jason Williams, pops out on top for an open jumper. Same option, and the center looks to the wing backdoor cutting, and then to the screener popping out. Here Stojakovic decides to use the elbow screen, and then Williams, the screener, has the option to backdoor or simply pop out, which he does here, and when no one is open, Chris Webber goes to work on the low block. And like we saw Stojakovic do on the last clip, Richard Jefferson uses the screen, and here he hits a jumper. Now, if the post isn't open or the offense simply wants to execute a different option out of the low post series, there is the forward dribble. The wing dribbles toward the top of the key, and that triggers that player to back cut. Then, the next perimeter player can stay and receive the pass or backdoor cut as well, which introduces a rule. If overplayed, it's an automatic backdoor cut. Here Jefferson isn't being overplayed, so he stays to receive the pass, and then the player who did backdoor cut will receive a double staggered screen for the open jumper. So, same option again, forward dribble, and the center and the wing who initiated the forward dribble action are the ones setting the double staggered screen for the player who backdoor cut, here Gilbert Arenas, who hits a tough shot. Here you'll see the double staggered screen makes Derek Fisher close out poorly on Jason Kidd, which results in a drive toward the middle and an easy 2 points. Here's a rule: after a backdoor cut, the cutter exits to the strong side corner or decides to post up on the strong side block. Forward dribble, and Jefferson is in the same position we saw him earlier. He's the second perimeter player, and here he feels he is being overplayed, so he does backdoor cut, and then Kidd will come up and receive the pass, and this still triggers the double staggered screen action, and Jefferson, who backdoor cut, can exit to the strong side corner, or here post up on the strong side block. There's the double staggered screen for Kerry Kittles. Now here's a bit of a variation to the forward dribble. Instead of the double staggered screen for the backdoor cutter we saw earlier, it's simply a flare screen for the passer, and here it gets him a shot, albeit a bad one. Again, forward dribble, and here the flare screen option, and the center who sets the screen here gets the pass, though he gets blocked. But how do the players know whether to execute a double staggered screen or the flare screen? Well, if you look closely, this is called the rollout. The ball handler will execute a bit of a spin dribble, triggering the flare screen action. In part 2 and 3 of this series, I'll get more in depth with the rollout, but just see that that's how they differentiate the two options. Now, in every option we've seen so far with the forward dribble, the first perimeter player always backdoor cut. But he can come for the dribble handoff, and this resets the low post series, as you can see the back in formation. Now here's a new option, which I'll go more in depth in part 2 and 3. When the pass goes to the top, not a forward dribble, this triggers the drift phase. The first perimeter player will backdoor, then the pass will go to Kid here, and then the center will come and flare screen for the passer, but here Richard Jefferson decides to attack before this action can take place. Back to the forward dribble, and we showed you how this dribble handoff can reset the low post series, but here it gets Keith Van Horn an open look at 3, and here again the dribble handoff, resetting the low post series and allowing for a quick post entry. Well, there you have it, guys. Part 2 and 3 hopefully will come this week. No guarantees though, unfortunately. But you can see how this offense is more complicated than the triangle offense, and this is probably the simplest of the 3 parts. So you can look forward to part 2 and 3, and have a good one.